What up? What up? What up, cuzzo?
Was that your voice? That was dope. What was that, like a sound effects? Man, I gotta get my studio together over here. How you feeling?
Oh man, I feel fantastic. Man, how about you?
Man, all is well, man. It ends well. We back at this thing, man. Like Friday come around every week, so it's all good.
Man, Frisky Friday. I got it right that time. You know what I'm saying?
Last time, but we
Hey
good.
man, hey man, I'm working on myself.
Listen. Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
Yes, he will. Hey,
Uh,
but what up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of What's Up, Cuzzo? Episode 22. Double, double deuce. Absolutely. Was it Emmitt Smith?
you know it, cowboy up.
Yeah, I know you would like that. We got myself. Marco is in the building. Yeah, I know. I don't hear y'all. And we got Melly in the building.
I ain't listening yet, but we still up. We still in this thing.
How about that? There
I'll
we
take
go.
it. I'll take it.
Absolutely, man. So we are excited, man, for another episode. Uh Man. So how was your week, Cuzzo?
Man, week was a week, man. It just took too long. So you know how it go. But we back, at the end, like the story begins. And man, I'm grateful to be here on this here podcast, What's Up, Cuzzo? Because that lets me know that we're making progress. So show 22, that means we've done this 22 times before. So I feel like we're getting better, the more that we do it. So appreciate you. What about you? How's your week going?
Oh man, my week has been cool, man. I was a little under the weather Monday and Tuesday. Had to have got it from the young man, because he was sick last week as I cough,
Yeah.
but I feel phenomenal right now. And it was even shorter week now. I only work 2 days, you know what I'm saying? And I get a nice long break.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful right there. That's a blessing in disguise, as they call it.
Yeah, if you had told me that Monday and Tuesday, I would have said something different. But
I hear you.
yes, sir. I made it through.
Yeah.
Man. So one thing, man, you see the overlay right there, man. You see that?
Man, I saw it, man. I was like, okay, stepping it up.
Hey
Yeah,
man,
like
you
that.
like that? Yeah. I've been working a little bit, you know what I mean? Trying to, get it figured out.
Right. Making us
Yes,
look
sir.
like big budget with no budget. So I'm loving it.
Hey man, I'm using the budget of the JO. This is a free software, so might as well,
Right.
use it free.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So anyway, man, we got a lot to talk about today. And I know we got started a little early. Man, if you look at the title, it's Turbulence, right? So there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. We got the Diddy case. I don't know if you guys heard recently, but there's been some new evidence presented in regards to Tory Lanez. We got the Trump one beautiful bill, one beautiful big bill, something like that. We'll talk about it. And then we have the whole Angel Reese and then everybody else who got involved in it. Caitlin Clark, RG3, Ryan Clark, everybody, is involved in the whole get down, man. So excuse me. So we're gonna go ahead and hop right into it. First things up. Oh, you know what? It's Memorial Day weekend, right? We were just talking about that.
Yes, sir.
Man. Uh-oh. So I'm messing up. Let's see. Move us up. Oh, there we go. Look at that right there.
Okay.
I'm working on it.
Look at this. Okay.
Working on it, man. Hey, it's not perfect, but I'm working on it. So, yeah, man. So what did you hear about the whole Angel Reese? And actually, you know what? We'll go ahead and play the video, and then we'll talk about it. That's what we'll do.
Good.
Too strong on a three. And look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up into Caitlin Clark. Afterwards has something to say as Clark walks away.
Let's play that one more time. I just want to see the whole interaction.
Mm-hmm.
So they come down off of, I think, a missed shot.
So didn't get it. Rebecca Allen.
Rebecca Allen.
Strong on a
pushing
three.
it back.
And look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up.
Okay. So we'll start right there, man. So what do you think about that whole play? Do you think it was a lot of people are calling it dirty? A lot of people were saying that, it was a dirty foul. What do you think about it?
I mean, just an initial look at it, it was a good hard foul. That's the only thing I can see. I see the pushing it back by Angel Reese, and then the ref didn't call that, so the shooter being the player that she is, she came down to foul, and not give up an easy basket,
Right.
Which Angel Reese is the bigger player, So yeah, in order for that shot not to go up, you got to give a hard foul. It's not like she took her legs out. It's not like she hit her across the face. She went for the ball wherever the ball was in that area. Angel Reese fell, so she felt some type of way, but it wasn't dirty. I don't think it was.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Like looking at the play, there was a foul miss there, like you said. So she pushed Boston in the back, which should have been a foul, offensive foul. And they didn't call that. And Caitlin Clark, I don't know if you saw her, but she put her hands up and looked at the ref like, "What happened?" Like, why you didn't call the foul? And then, it was like slow motion because you had Angel Reese. It looked like, hey, you had Angel Reese go for a basket, and like, I'm not gonna give an easy basket. Like I've been taught that, forever. Don't give up a layup. So if she hadn't a foul, she probably would have missed it anyway, like low key. Just saying. We know how she was the fastest girl to make it, to it's like 400 rebounds and 400 points. And we know why.
It's a game to that though. Hey, it's a game to that. It's like I miss my shot, I grab my own rebound, I put it back. So hey,
and I missed my shot again, and I grab my own rebound, and I missed my shot, and
I'm racking them up. It don't matter.
Hey man,
she over there stat stacking. That's crazy.
Real crazy. So I probably wouldn't have fouled her, but anyway, don't give her no layup. So she fouls her, and the reaction, was we'll save that, but yeah, there was a reaction, and we don't know if we'll talk about if it was necessary or not. But yeah, it was a basketball play, and they upgraded the foul to a flagrant foul, which shouldn't have been a flagrant. It was a normal basketball play. She went for the ball. She didn't push her. She didn't hit her in the head. Nothing crazy or anything out of the way to make it be deemed a flagrant foul. But that's what they called it. So we'll skip over to we had a few people react to this. We'll kind of talk about it briefly. But Ryan, I don't know if you heard the response of RG3 to that foul. No.
Oh, okay, no, I didn't hear.
Okay, let's see. let's see. I think this is this video is. Let's see. Yeah, this one I think he's responding to what? Oh yeah, Ryan Clark. Okay. So yeah, since I don't have, man, pause. Since I don't have it up, what we'll do is we'll kind of briefly, I'll briefly tell you what happened. So RG3 basically said that she hates, Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. And the way that it was said, I mean, I guess it could have been taken a lot of different ways, but from his viewpoint, it was from a basketball stance. And actually, let me see. Let me pull it up so we're not just talking off the top of our head.
Okay.
We got started early anyway, so I'll take my time. You know what I'm saying?
Some time. You got some time.
Let me see. All right, here we go.
So after watching the play, I tweeted out, after watching Caitlin Clark's flagrant foul on Angel Reese and the aftermath, there is no way Angel Reese can continue the lie that she doesn't dislike Caitlin Clark. I know what hatred looks like. Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. Not some basketball rivalry hate either. Hate. The reason I said that is because when somebody that you don't like says something to you, you automatically always take it to the most extreme. You always automatically say, oh, they meant to harm me with that statement. But if your friend or somebody you're cool with made that very same statement, none of us would be so quick to run to judgment to say, oh, that was negative. We would question what it was. We would react differently. So why do I think Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark? It could be the fact that Aaliyah Boston had to save Angel Reese from ending her career. This is a still shot. After the foul that Caitlin Clark put on Angel Reese tried to hit her. But if it wasn't for Aaliyah Boston putting her arms in the way, Angel Reese would not be playing basketball anymore because she was going to sucker punch Caitlin Clark. Now, you tell me a time when you've seen somebody get fouled on a basketball court in a professional league where they tried to almost sucker punch somebody that they were friends with because of a hard foul. I've seen LeBron James get fouled by Dwayne Wade, and they're buddies, but it was a hard foul. LeBron didn't get up and try to smack him upside the head or hit him in the face from behind, but that's what Angel Reese did to Caitlin Clark. So where was this type of reaction last year when Angel Reese got chokeslammed by Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun? She got fouled so hard, they kicked Aaliyah Thomas out the game with a flagrant 2 foul. What did Angel Reese do? Nothing. She didn't get up and try to swing on her. You know why? The reaction was different because of who did it. And there is a lot of history there with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You guys remember last year when Angel Reese celebrated Kennedy Carter getting that flagrant foul on the hip check against Caitlin Clark? You remember that? On the sideline, just, yeah, baby, get her, you get her. Who celebrates like that for a flagrant foul on another player if they don't dislike that player? Okay, you want some more evidence? Here's some more evidence. Remember last year when they were talking about who gets the credit for the expansion and the eyeballs and the popularity boost of...
We'll stop it right there. So what do you think about RG3's take on this incident? Because I agree with some of the stuff, but I disagree with some of the stuff he said as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give him some credit in terms of him saying there is a history, but I don't think that Angel Reese hates her personally. Hate is a strong word. Dislike, in some aspects, yes. You can dislike someone in the league because you feel like they get certain treatment. You can dislike someone in the league because you feel like they're giving this person, certain calls and not giving other people the same exact calls. So there may be some dislike there, but I get what he's saying and why he's saying it. I don't think Angel Reese was going to get up and hit her. I just think she was about to get up in her chest, get a little physical with her. And then also too, looking at that, we know who, people can do that to. You know what I'm saying? Even in the streets, the guys that's not gonna do nothing. The guys that you can get in their face and they're not even gonna throw a punch, but let you hop it up in the wrong dude's face and it's gonna be on.
Right.
So it could be some of that as well. So I will give some credence to what he's saying, but in terms of hate, I don't think Angel Reese hates the girl. I think a lot of people dislike her because she did come into the league and kind of became the face right away, and understandably so. If I'm somewhere putting in work, 3-4 years, and then you got a hot shot coming in, and then right away, of course they're good, they're talented, but they give this person all the burn, all the play and everything, and then it's like you're gonna feel a certain way. Just like, when you was on the team playing basketball and you got someone coming in and they get more time, they get more burn over you, you're going to feel a certain way. And it's like, man, this dude not even that cold. Why he just coming here giving this dude everything? All this dude do is shoot threes. And yeah, he's good at shooting threes, but it's like, man, they not good as me at doing this and doing that. Everybody want the limelight. Everybody wants that opportunity to be the face or be the best, but it's like in certain situations, which this is the business of entertainment, you got to learn how to play your role. And just like I was telling you last time, we was texting back and forth, this is just like WWE to me. If you watch WWE, the women's edition, it's very exciting. It's very exciting. They got a lot of good stars, on the women's side. There's a couple of them, I don't know their names, but it's like, yeah, I'll watch every time they wrestle because they're pretty exciting at what they do. And I think this is starting to become that because they need it to be entertaining. When you have drama and you have storylines like this, and you make it about more than basketball, that's when it starts to become a sensational part of what people tune in to watch. They're not tuning in to watch you shoot layups. They tuning in to people, and these two people got issues with each other, so that's what they tuning in for. It's just like a daytime drama, you know. So just to say, go back to the point, I think RG3 definitely had some valid points, but to say that, Angel Reese hates her, I don't think she hates her. That's just my opinion. You can come with all the receipts. Yeah, I'm looking at you this way and that way, but that could be something else. It could be envy. It could be, a dislike for, the position that a person is giving, or they're giving a certain type of, limelight, and you don't think they deserve it, because they are only good at doing this thing only and not everything else. And I think they're all good. They're all good at what they do, whatever skill set that they have, and they use it to the best of their ability. I think that they're good at that skill set. It's not about who's the best or who's better than this person. Yeah, Angel Reese misses a lot of layups, a lot of shots, but she gets a lot of her own rebounds, which is good. You better. So it's like, that's the way I look at it. What's your take on it?
Well, first thing is, we kind of agree where on the stance where I don't think she necessarily hates her. I think she's just like a lot of the other league, and the word that I'm gonna say is starts with hate, but you add ing or in on it, right? I think she's hating her, just like a lot of the other league, and we'll address that later on too, because I have some other we have some other videos that are coming up. But if I foul you, and one, it looks like she flopped. Two, you foul somebody else. Three, I'm not going to give up a wide open layup. But then when I foul you, if it's, to RG3's point, if it's somebody else, if I foul you, a nice basketball foul, hard foul, you won't jump up like you're going to do something. Let me know if I'm wrong. Sometimes, you might have been playing, you might have been hanging out with your friends, and the way that somebody jumps up or the way that somebody moves, like it signals something, is non-verbally communicating something to an individual. So if somebody jumps up at me and I foul them hard, I'm preparing myself because I don't know what they might do. And so that's the first thing that I thought. I'm like, why does she react like that? You know what I mean? Like, if it was a hard foul, yes, but she didn't try to hurt you. And I think to a lot of people that was obvious, but why would you respond in that manner? Like, why would you respond like you're going to lash out? Because I don't know, what you might do because of the way you respond. So I'm gonna, she walked away, she being Caitlin Clark, but some other people might not walk away, or it may have created something else. And I don't think Caitlin Clark was, she didn't want to get involved in that, and I just think the reaction, was one thing, and her response to it was just a hard foul, but it didn't look that way, and that's the thing that has me questioning, like, why respond that way if you say yourself it was just a basketball play. And well, I think, go ahead.
Yeah, because just to respond to that part, maybe in the moment it didn't feel that way, but maybe you had some time to maybe look at the tape and go back, or you might have heard from your teammates and say it was a hard foul, it wasn't dirty. Because she probably thought in that moment it was dirty, She probably thought, something else at that point in time. We don't know. I can only speculate. But after the fact, you're like, what? It was just a hard foul. Okay, cool.
But if there was and again, to his point, she's not hating. She doesn't hate her. I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think that's the case. That's in my opinion. But if you didn't have any issue with me, even to RG3's point, even if it was a foul, a hard foul, you wouldn't react that way. And that's the thing. That's what grasped my attention initially when I saw this happen. And I had no idea that it was gonna grow arms and legs and wings and all kind of other stuff.
Yeah.
But I know also too that they have a history. This goes all the way back, probably before college, but that's when, I kind of picked up on the stories when they played in college. Angel Reese hit her with the "You Can't See Me" with the ring and stuff like that. Because Caitlin Clark was busting everybody's ass. No Diddy. And Angel Reese and LSU took her down. And so that's where that whole back and forth. And then the next year, Angel Reese, they got put out early. So yeah, so it was whole dynamic created then from what I see. And I know it was a good story that they could put together. And people try to liken it to Bird and Magic. I'm like, man, she's not good enough to be Bird. I mean Magic, you know what I'm saying? Right. She's not good enough to be Magic. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know y'all love her.
Yeah.
Pretty young lady.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But she ain't nowhere near Magic, man. I don't do Magic like that. I mean, yeah, some people say I gotta be PC sometimes, but I would say it's more like a Dennis Rodman and Larry Bird. You know what I'm saying? Hey, she's
that could be more accurate. Yeah,
she know how to grab them rebounds, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Dennis Rodman wasn't really a scorer.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I heard he was a phenomenal scorer in high school,
Mm-hmm.
but hey, he knew how to grab them rebounds.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Don't do my boy Magic like that, man.
Sure.
Magic. Shout out to you, man. I'm here for you, man.
The Magic Man. Yeah.
The Magic Man.
There you go.
She was more like the, yeah. I ain't gonna go there. So we are gonna take a look at, you know what? Maybe we'll we'll look at Ryan Clark and what RG3 had to say. Okay, Ryan Clark. Here we go.
You could see the hate on her face for Caitlin Clark. I'm not really sure when we moved in to being able to read the expressions of a person and know their intent, know their character, know their perspective. But he does understand hate because I think he also understands the hate of self. When you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts, Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul.
Not true. We just talked about that.
It depends. It depends.
If it's something there. So like if I was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jokic went up for a layup and he fouled Jokic hard, Jokic is not gonna get up and try to attack him or try to get in his face. Now, if I'm Draymond Green, and I go up for a foul, I don't know. Draymond Green might kick his legs out,
right?
And, or throw his elbows up in the air. It's different.
Yeah. It's different. Like you said, if you have some history or you see someone intentionally trying to play the game in a way that's not fair, or it's not trying to play the ball. If you just come down, you just clothesline me,
Right.
then we got a problem.
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, we throwing hands.
And you try to hit the ball, but you miss, and then you just take my eye out. Oh, we got a problem. I don't care if you try to go for the ball. We got a problem. Because you should have more control of your body. If I'm going up and then my legs get taken out because you fouled me hard, then okay, yeah, I can see.
Hell no, they take my legs out. We fighting.
I'm just saying, because if you go up, if someone grabs the ball, you can kind of lose, balance. So it's like, okay, my arms are going one way, but then my legs are going, to the side, something like that, based on momentum.
Right.
Your body going one way, you stop the ball from moving, but then all of a sudden your body keeps going. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I kind of understand. However, we both agreed that it wasn't a non-basketball play, so that shouldn't even have been an issue, right? Did we agree it was a regular basketball play? It was just a hard foul, right?
It was a hard basketball play. I don't think it should have been an issue how she got up that way, for sure.
Right. So let's see what else he has to say. Let's see.
That's competitiveness. That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Caitlin Clark's heroic or hero story.
Right.
The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what.
Yeah, I think this is where he crossed the line, but we'll go and let him rock out.
Black women have to endure in this country, about what young Black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. Now, when you look at it, I think A'ja Wilson is the face of the league. A'ja Wilson is the best player in the league. Caitlin Clark is the most important player in the WNBA. And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what Black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back, amening and clapping.
We'll stop it right there.
I mean, just listening to it, I can definitely see, how people can, not agree, with what he said and how he said it. But there's some truth to that. There's some truth to it. And he wouldn't have those conversations, because he's right. But I even heard too, like, Ryan Clark's first wife was white. That's what I heard.
He has a biracial daughter.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like there's a lot of hypocrisy there. Now hold on. Your first one.
Hold it.
Well, from the slopes of the bunnies. Now, come on. Now.
The Caucasus Mountains.
It's mountains, as our good friend, Mr. K. Williams would say, So you can't really throw, snow when you got, snow falling from your roof,
Right.
So it's like
slow ice over there, icicles.
So him saying that, I guess he tried to make a point and make it racial. And I think a lot of times that is the easy, low-hanging fruit when you have a white player and a Black player that's polarizing as they are. And when I see stuff like this, it reminds me of the movie, The Great White Hype. With Damon Wayans, is it Damon Wayans?
Yeah, I think it was Damon Wayans.
The white actor. I'm sorry if I don't remember his name, but yeah. But if
wasn't it Woody Harrelson?
It wasn't Woody Harrelson. It was somebody else. I forget what his name was, but it was a good movie if you go back and watch that movie, because you can kind of see the hypocrisy, and it was kind of like a comedy on how they, in entertainment, they try to build a narrative, and they try to create a story behind a certain archetype or character, coming from an Irish background or coming from Middle America, which is Iowa, and states that have mostly, Caucasian people living there, farmers.
Peter Berg, Samuel L. Jackson.
There you go. Yeah.
Jamie Foxx was in there too.
Yep.
Damon Wayans. Yep.
Yeah. So that's what the situation reminds me of. When you have polarizing figures in sports, they always try to, figure out how to use this angle because it creates, feelings and type of inside of people, because we know America inherently, a lot of it, there's racial ties, there's bigoted ties, we understand that. So when I hear things like this happen, it's just kind of like, well, what's the point of that? If we're talking about sports, none of that should be, the point that you go to or move to, So a lot of times it's easy and low hanging fruit because that's what gets people paying attention. That's what gets the conversations moving. And then that's what gets people emotionally involved. When you have somebody emotionally involved, then it's hook, line, and sinker,
And you know what though? I'm sure it's bait, like you said. But when I see things like this that get turned to racial topics when they don't have to be, because this is all about sports. It was all about basketball. Yes, you have one player who's white, one player who's Black, but like we have to stop creating this narrative. I mean, guess what? It may be some racist people that like Caitlin Clark that are white. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some Black people that like, Angel Reese that are Black, but this particular issue, I don't think it extends, to hatred of an individual's, race. You know what I mean? I don't think I don't think that's involved. So when Ryan Clark said that, he turned this into something totally different. And you could tell, they have some history, kind of like the same thing, but they both black. They have some negative history. You could see it, you could feel it there with that conversation. And he's probably been waiting. I've been waiting to say this. You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting to say something about you. And here's the opportunity. If you want to hear, here you go. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
yeah,
that's crazy. But these type of conversations that get switched up like this, they promote hate, because you're gonna have those same individuals that are on one side that may be bigots or whatever you want to call them, that jump on this train on either side, and they create this narrative, and they turn it, they spin it and spin it and spin it and turn it into something that it's not. And you can see it on social media, like all the people in the comments, oh yeah, this white girl, blah 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 blah, oh this black girl, this, whatever they say. And then, like, even, I don't know if you heard this, and I know this is kind of off topic, but there was this girl, people thought she was white, but she's biracial, and she was doing some line dance or whatever like that. Oh, they won't let that girl live. She ain't the only one that came. She ain't the one that came up with the dance. Y'all celebrate anybody. I'm like, bro, like, relax. Like, y'all don't have to watch her do it. Y'all don't have to give her energy. Y'all don't have to click on anything. But y'all want to switch this and turn it to something that it's not. And then come to find out she not even straight white. Her dad, she said her dad, I think her mom is black and her dad is white, something like that. But yeah, people do this too much, man. And they people talk about all racism is still, present. Yes, it is. But sometimes it gets a lot of times we bring it up when it doesn't have to be brought up. And sometimes we, allow the existence of it to linger. We could control ourselves. We can't control everybody else. And when we start to spin these narratives and things like that, it doesn't create, it keeps the hate there for, I'm trying to get my words out, but yeah, it keeps it there.
Yeah.
We can control ourselves. We could, stop the hate ourselves. Everything somebody does is not black and white.
Right.
And what we'll do is I want to jump to Cheryl Swoop's response, and then we can move on, because I was going to play RG3 response and then Ryan Clark's and blah blah blah, but we'll go ahead and I want to hear what Cheryl Swoops has to say. Oh, hey, nice. Bro, she is a hater, bro. Let me see, where is that? Oh, there we go. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right.
I don't have an issue with the foul. I thought it was a hard foul. Yep, I thought the refs got it right. And to Angel's point, move on. My issue wasn't even with the foul, right? If you're going to foul somebody, I was always taught you don't give up an easy basket, period. And that's what I thought Caitlin did. My thing with that was, stand in it.
Stand on business.
Yeah, okay. Right? Don't walk away. My other issue was,
I'll stop it right there. What does that mean?
Oh, well, she was saying, when I guess the girl got up, why are you walking away? It's like, yeah, I followed you. What's up? That's not even her personality. So,
what does that do?
Well, that's just from her perspective. Maybe the kind of player she was, or maybe the way she's looking at it. If you're gonna give a hard foul, don't walk away. Stand in there for the smoke. If the smoke is coming, all right, we'll blow it out or keep it moving. You know,
Hell no, man. She's a hater, bro. She has been a hater for the longest.
that's just
Man,
her giving her opinion. I mean, I can
bro.
understand that. I don't think that's a hater comment.
No, that comment may not be fully hater
Uh-huh.
because Cheryl Swoop has been a hater of Caitlin Clark since she's came into the league. We could go down a rabbit hole of videos. We'll talk about it this week.
We'll
But she is a hater.
Okay,
She
but
hates
that
that girl because
she hates that
she hates her because of her race
okay.
and because of the publicity that she's getting.
Okay.
And you talked about this earlier, and I get it, and I understand how you've been around. I think the league has been around 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Cheryl Swoops was like one of the first. I think one of the first few to actually sign a contract, a WNBA contract. She won 4 NBA championships.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since, you know, actually, I'll add this too. So along with the 4 titles, like she's won MVPs as well. Now, you had a historical career. You know, I know not Don Staley. I forgot the other lady's name. Cynthia Cooper. They're in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Cheryl Swoops is in the Hall of Fame. Man, what is going on? But
Tarazi was in the league for a long time too.
who?
Tarazi?
Cheryl Swoops and Cynthia Cooper,
the first people,
Tina Thompson. Yeah, they were like the first few to sign a contract.
Yeah, they were like all of that first generation coming in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Lisa Leslie, all of them. So what's crazy to me is that ever since Caitlin Clark has come into the league, because Caitlin Clark is such an amazing player. Which you good over there?
Keep coming around. It's like, get out here.
Hey man, he wants some what's that mushrooms, Tyrannosaurus mushrooms, what do you call them?
Tyrannosaurus mushrooms.
Yeah, so what's crazy to me is ever since she's come into the league, she has felt some type of way because everybody is on the Caitlin Clark. I'm sorry, a large amount of people are on the Caitlin Clark bandwagon. More people are watching the WNBA. You know, people are talking about the games, but they're leading with Caitlin Clark, and and I know she feels a type of way because she's like, I've been here before, and like I said, that's the point that you said. They've been around, you know, for a while. You have all these players that have played forever, and they've been around, but Caitlin Clark is like bringing more attention to the WNBA, and you have a lot of players that I've heard that sound jealous. I'll say that. They have the speech of jealousy. and I'll just say this, the only ones that I've seen have been African American. You know, and I know y'all might come for me, you know what I'm saying, especially the one that don't like me because I voted for Trump.
Man.
But
you sound like RG3 right now.
Man, hey. You know what I'm saying? But what's crazy is, man, I haven't heard anybody else come out and complain about her getting publicity or her, you know, being a figure in NBA that people like.
Right.
Now, I might feel some type of way if I'm a great player too. You know, if I grab if I grab a rebound and make the shot the first time, if I could do that, you know, I might feel some type of way.
That was a dig right there. I see what you did. Wow. All right.
If I'm able to benefit from another fellow NBA player, WNBA player, you know, bringing more visibility, then what's wrong with that?
So you saying some hot shot, wet behind the ear dude coming in your job in your department, and y'all get paid more, but he get all the credit. You good with that?
That's not the same, man.
Everything you do, everything that you've done, but he get all the credit, he get all the exposure. It is the same thing.
Well, guess what? If my department is not visible and he puts my department on the map, like if he comes up with some amazing idea because he has skills, hey, guess what? Guess what? They're gonna give him praise, yes.
He
But
using Chat GPT. He ain't got no amazing skills.
Hey, guess what? If he know how to use Chat GPT better than me, hey, then more power to you, brother, or non-brother, whatever you are.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But whatever it is, I don't care. Now they're gonna say, you know what? So and so, whatever his name is, John Smith is amazing, but also they're gonna say John Smith is part of my department. And my department is going to get lifted up because he helped bring visibility to the department. And so I'm just saying, and like I said, we go down the rabbit hole. She a hater, man. And she's been a hater for a long time. And I know you don't want to speak to fully because you don't have all the facts, which I appreciate and I understand. And we could go down the rabbit hole, but she has been a hater for the longest of this young lady because she's bringing visibility. And it seems like she's like one of those old players that retired, you know what I'm saying? They live in the basement, and they talking about this new dude. They're talking about Jesus Shuttlesworth, or what's my bad name from Butterrim? Bernie Mac, what's his name?
Oh, you talking Boots? Whatever his name.
Not Boots, but Flip. That was it.
Flip, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She remind me of Flip, man. Hey, young man, you know what I mean? That's I used to do. Hey,
is that how
she remind me of?
That's how you gonna do it?
Hey, man, she remind me of Flip out there, man. Hey.
He didn't win no championships, man. He had one championship, man. That was high school. That's
man. I'm just saying, she might not be dusty.
Wow,
she might not be dusty like Flip. You know what I'm saying? But she got Flip behavior right now.
Might be right, but let me ask you this: Is being bitter, the same thing as being a hater because you don't feel like you were giving, all the accolades you should have been given? You're not giving, the same ambassadorship that she's being giving now, that she probably thought she should have got before because they were like, women's basketball, they were on the Olympic team, they brought gold medals, they were doing all that, So what do you think bitter and hating? Do you think that's the same thing? Or
bro, she won 4 championships.
Right.
She won 3 MVP awards.
Right.
And she was at the ground level,
right,
of when this thing started. And I know she probably felt I started this gangster.
Yeah.
Right, I get it.
Award should be named the Shore Swoops Championships or whatever they call it.
Oh no. Here you go. You sound like Ryan Clark.
I'm just saying,
Hey, so this is
acknowledgement, right?
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know about that one.
Because
they're gonna have to put a Charlie Murphy on there. Hate. You know what I'm saying? That's what kind of war she needs.
Listen, man. I get it. I don't condone it, but I get it. I can understand where it comes from. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think she's got a lot of accolades. And I was going to say this, and I know we probably want to move forward because we didn't get to none of our other points or other stories. But if you look at the WNBA and then you look at the NBA, and I'm talking about ground floor, like where they started from, like the WNBA it's still in its infancy stages. When the NBA started, like them cats, man, they was playing in the NBA and then going to the fields to work, you know what I'm saying, or going to the warehouses to work or whatever. They were still working. Like even in the like 70s, some of those cats still had a job. And so how can you compare the growth differences? You can't. Y'all want things to be different right now. And guess what? I know you appreciate it. I'm sure. I mean, Caitlin Clark even paid homage to those who started this thing being the WNBA. But they're like, if you look at it now, those cats that had jobs and had to work and play, now you look at these dudes now, these dudes are making $50 million a year, $60 million. I think Jokic's probably about to make $70 million a year. How you think those cats feel? You know what I'm saying? I don't really hear any NBA players hating on, say, Gildas Alexander. I don't hear any NBA players hating on, Anthony Edwards. I don't hear any NBA players hating on Jokic, about his play and, people, praising him and stuff like that. I don't hear any of that. And so when I look at things like this, I compare the two. Yeah, one is men and one is related to a women's league. But where are they at in their stages? And then two, when you talk about the players, like what are the differences and what are the similarities? And I don't hear anybody complaining, but I do see that this is bringing more visibility to the league. And I do see that this is something that I think they need to just ride the wave, man, and just reap the benefits. You like the wingman, cuz hey, what I'm saying? Hey man, I can't have them all, you know what I'm saying? So, you roll with me, I'm sure you're gonna get, some of the ones who may have wanted me, but hey, they're gonna take the person who know me. It didn't happen for years. It's happened for years. So I don't know. This issue is crazy to me. How they flip this around. But I know it's something that they're trying to push and make it more than what it is, man. But anyway, man, we gonna hop to the next subject. We're gonna talk about something light. Actually, I'll wait till you hop back on because we'll let me know what y'all think, in the comments about what we talked about. Like, where do you stand at, as it relates to Angel Reese and Angel Clark in this foul and what all the people that you may have seen had to say to talk about this so we could, let us know. I'd love to hear what you guys' opinion are. Excuse me, proper English. Working on it. But anyway, we're gonna hop to the next subject. The air taxi is buzzing right now. I know you brought this up to me. I thought I saw it but excuse me, I didn't do a whole lot of research. Like, let me see what we got here. I'm gonna mute you real quick, cuzzo.
The LA 2028 Olympic Games just got a level up with Archer Aviation's air taxis. Olympic and Paralympic Summer Games spectators will now get the chance to ride an air taxi to and from the venue. This is all thanks to the partnership between Archer Aviation and the committee in charge of the Summer Games LA 28. The plan is for Archer Aviation to provide a fleet of air taxis, allowing riders to skip the ground traffic the Olympics will surely bring. If the partnership pushes through, they will reach heights no other Olympic game has reached before. Paris 2024 had also tried to incorporate a flying taxi system into their plans, this time with German company Volocopter. but certification delays ensured that the plan didn't take off. Will it take off in 2028? Archer Aviation has also yet to be certified by the US Federal Aviation Administration. This means their air taxis are not yet allowed for commercial use. The goal is to receive certification by the end of this year. The air taxis would then offer 10 to 20-minute flights between the Olympic venues and a few other stops. No fare price has been decided on yet, but Archer Aviation founder and CEO Adam Goldstein intends to price the taxis on par with a high-end Uber. What do you think? Do you plan on riding an air taxi to the 2028 Olympic Games?
So what you think? The air taxi.
Yeah, man, I think that if they really make that happen, that's gonna be crazy. I mean, we already got the driverless cars out here now, the Waymos.
Right.
You know, if they can get because I believe this is supposed to be unmanned, right?
No, it's a pilot.
Oh, it's a pilot. Oh, okay. I thought these were okay. All right. Even with that, you know, I think that's something that, you know, they have been trying to make, you know, normalize, you know, in LA for a while. So just to have that for the Olympic Games, I think that's going to open up a lot of doors, you know, for companies to come in and do a lot of good business. But yeah, traffic out here, as you know it, you know, can get crazy. So I'm pretty sure, you know, with the Olympics, it's going to be, you know, beyond, you know, crazy.
Right.
You know, to have people to be able to get through that, to get to the next event, even if it's just the athletes, even if it's just certain individuals, you know, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be, you know, for civilians or just for, you know, spectators. Did it say that?
No, it didn't. It didn't. Well, they said it was for people just getting through traffic. It didn't specify, so I think it was for, you know, whoever. Yeah, you know what's crazy? You know what I thought about? So I did a little research, and so it seats about 4 or 5. That's including the or 5 or 6. That's including the pilot. And you know, again, it'll make your drive, you know, instead of it being hours, you know, 15, 20 minutes, you know. But then also too, I was looking at the thing and I'm like, actually, you know what? There's one other point. They've been testing it, I've heard, like in Newark and Chicago. And I don't know if you remember a while ago when people said they saw drones, you know, in certain cities.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's what it was. I don't know. I could be wrong, you know, but that was just a thought. You know, them testing these things and, you know, not necessarily wanting to put it out. But I mean, it could have been drones still. You know, we don't know. But anyway, I don't know, man. It'd be crazy to see like this, you know, them pull this off. And, you know, you look in the sky and it's just like, you know, I don't want to say hundreds because they probably won't be to that scale. I don't know, it could be, but, you know, like 10, 20, 30 of these flying, you know, all in the sky. That'd be pretty crazy. That'd be pretty crazy to see. And you know what? Also too, that what it'll do if it's the price of an Uber or a Lyft, like, man, people might select to fly, you know, to their houses, especially if they have a longer travel, you know, because I've done Uber in the past, and, you know, I've taken people to Orange County and to, you know, the IE, not that far, but yeah, like to Pomona and stuff like that, or I've taken people, you know, up north, you know, as well, like, so like in the Hollywood Hills and stuff like that. So if people could opt out of paying for Uber and paying for something that's a similar price, hey, it might impact those people, you know, that are driving Uber and Lyft and, you know, these ride sharing with these ride sharing companies.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. You know, you brought up that. I mean, where have they been testing it? Why haven't we heard about it? I guess until now, you know. But I guess they want you to know certain things. They'll let you know when they want you to know. You know, so I guess that could be the reason behind it. But yeah, I mean, it'd be crazy to be like, all right, do I want to take an Uber or do I want to just take a plane to the house? You know, catch one of these gyro things to the house. I don't want to get on the train. You know, let me just catch one of these gyro things. You know, that's gonna get me there. You know, 20 minutes earlier. You know, so uh, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty exciting. You know, I've always thought that too. Like, man, if I had some money, man, just buy me a helicopter. And I can get to the house a lot easier. You know, because over here in West Hollywood, where I work, it's like you see helicopters take off and land on buildings over here all the time. So it's like, man, they got the good money. They got the real money. So if they make this for more people, yeah, it's definitely a good look for sure.
For sure, yeah, I think it's interesting, and they're talking about like, so just say a drive to from LAX to Orange County or something like that. Temecula. That's not Orange County. What's that city? Tustin. You know, that's a good hour or so. Or I've taken somebody to San Diego before. You know, that's a good 2-hour drive, like with low traffic. But with traffic, it's like, you know, maybe 3.5 hours, something like that. And you could take your 3.5 hour trip and make it 30 minutes. Hey, I'm sure a lot of people will do that all day long. And yeah, well, I'm interested to see, you know, how things pan out and you know, how they are moving forward. But yeah, I think it's interesting, man. I'm glad you brought that up. I did see it, but you know, again, I wasn't really familiar with, you know, with it at all. But yeah, I did a little research, and yeah, I think it'll be a good idea, man. But you know, those rideshare companies are gonna have to rethink some things because I'm sure people are gonna start taking this a lot more instead of you know, waiting for a car and have to sit there for for an hour in the car. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic. So we have a couple of things, and actually we'll address this, and maybe we'll address the Tory Lanez later. We got Trump and the one, I think it's the one beautiful big bill. Let me look it up so I can stop saying I think. Yeah, the one big beautiful bill. And so it looks like the House approved the one beautiful. Let me see. I know, yeah, the House of Representatives, but and it passed by one vote, just by the hair of the chinny chin chin. But what do you guys think about it? What do you think about? Have you guys took a look at what the one big beautiful bill says? I mean, a lot of people have, you know, I'm sure they're up in arms. Some people are, you know, saying it's a bad idea. Some people saying, you know, they love it. What do you guys think? We would like to know. Comment below and let us know what your opinion is. Like, have you actually did your research to find out, what it is. I took a look at some of the bullet points, and I see a lot of things that I am for. And let's see if I can pull it up. Just give me a second here. Actually, let me do this. You still there, Cuzzo? So yeah. So tax cuts of 2017, they're gonna stay. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, tax relief for seniors, tax incentives for Americans, no tax on auto loans, and that's on cars or vehicles made in the United States. So those are some of the items there. But let me I want to find the what I saw last night. You there, Cuzzo?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, got it. Let's see. No. Just bear with me. One big, beautiful deal. Man, I'm sorry, guys. I'm working on getting faster with this whole thing. Man, I can't find it. Yeah, it's just giving me problems, but I know I have it on my phone. But anyway, have you heard about the bill, Cuzzo?
I can barely hear you now.
Oh, what about now?
No, that's probably me. What's up, T? What's up, baby? Oh man, what you guys doing? Yeah, one more than that's it. So it's probably my phone.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. I'm gonna listen.
Yeah, so pretty much while I was trying to find the detail behind the bill, because it's important always that we look at stuff instead of just listening to, what people say. But so the bill, there's no tax on tips. Again, the child tax credit is going to remain. I'm sorry, tax cuts are going to remain. There's going to be the child tax credit is going to be $2,500. Let me see. This is bad, man. Anyway. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, good. So, have you heard anything at all about the bill, Color? You said no.
I haven't.
Okay. So yeah, it just like I said, it just passed by the House of Representatives on yesterday. And let me see, I think I might have it here. Good information about, okay, yeah. So tax reforms, extensions of the 2017 tax cut, permanently extend the tax cut enacted during Trump's first term, elimination of taxes on tips and overtime, auto loan interest deductions on American-made vehicles, increase child tax credit $2,500 through 2028, and then thereafter 2,000. MAGA savings account introduces a $1,000 savings account for newborns to encourage investment. Something called SALT deduction cap raise increases the state and local deduction cap to $40,000 for taxpayers earning below $500,000. Tax or remittances imposes a 3.5% tax on money transfers sent abroad by non-citizens. Endowment tax increases tax on large university endowments and allow revocation of tax exempt status for nonprofits deemed to support terrorism. In healthcare, Medicaid work requirements implements work requirements for Medicaid recipients by 2026, potentially affecting 8 million Americans. Restrictions on Medicaid coverage prevents or prohibits Medicaid from covering gender affirming care and funding nonprofits that provide abortion services. SNAP shifts 5% of benefit costs and 75% of administrative costs to states with penalty for higher error rates. Defense and immigration. Border security funding allocates $47 billion for border wall construction. Golden Dome missile defense system invests $25 billion for that. Mass deportations provide resources to support large-scale deportation efforts, and a whole lot of other things. Let me see. Abolition of IRS direct file program replaces the IRS free tax filing services and a public private institution. Debt ceiling increase. Then this is where I don't agree. I have to see, but it says debt ceiling increase, so it could potentially increase the debt, the national debt, which I thought we were trying to decrease, and then also projected deficit increases. The Congressional Budget Office estimates the bill could add 3.8 billion, 3.8 trillion to the national debt over the next decade. So I know that was a lot. I know it was a mouthful, and I apologize for, taking forever to find it. But I There's some good things in there. No taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime. Some other tax cuts remaining, child tax credit. The only thing is where is that money going to come from? And hopefully, from him finding the waste, fraud, and abuse, that money is found from somewhere else and not increasing the debt substantially, because I think that's something that a lot of us want to see go down. I'm sure we're not going to be out of debt in my lifetime, but to see that debt decrease is a wonderful thing. But hey, guess what? I know I'm gonna work some overtime to see if that thing is for real. Hey, I need an hour or two, just to see if I get some more money on my check and it's not taxed. Yes, sir. I don't pay me regularly. Just pay me in overtime. Just I don't want to. Yeah, don't pay me for my regular hours. Just to pay me double time. I don't know, man. Like I said, I see a lot of good things, and I'm sure you guys see some good things in there. Some of y'all are gonna agree, but some of you guys gonna say all of it is bad. But what do you think? Because I know you might not be available to talk as much. But what do you think about it if you heard what I was saying?
I mean, yeah, I mean, like you said, it has some good things to it. I definitely have to dive into it a little bit more to give a better take on it. But from what it looks like on the surface, it looks like, what we talked about, all along is, what he's attempting to do is bring more control, back to, American, people, by giving them more opportunities to manufacture here, build businesses here, keep more of your money and put it actually towards what you really want it to go towards versus it going towards taxes and getting, swallowed up and sent off to foreign countries in terms of aid and or illegals or refugees coming here, through certain programs subsidized through the government. So that's what it seems like it's attempting to do. And if you're working hard, working overtime, you shouldn't be getting taxed on, that money. You should be able to keep that money because you're actually doing more than 40 hours to achieve something. So why should you have to have that money taxed? So there are some good elements, as you said before. Where is that money going to come from? It remains to be seen. And asking for the debt ceiling to be raised, I think that has to do more with, America owing other people, money, or being in debt to other people like China, and other people that they owe money to. So raising that national debt ceiling may allow them to, pay back some of those debts, or offer more bond yields, bring more of that into the fold as well. So just speaking, on what I heard you say, and yeah, we'll see. It remains to be seen, what's going to happen, from that. I haven't heard any pundits speak on it, so I'll be looking for that in the next couple of days and weeks, and we'll see where it goes from there.
And you bring up a good point, and I think that some of this stuff that he's doing, like tariffs and working on negotiating with other countries to lower tariffs and to have those type of talks to help alleviate stress as it relates to the debt and things of that nature could help also. I mean, that's a valid point. I didn't think about that, but yeah, that may be something that it's kind of like if you put yourself on a budget, like you got to tighten up some places, you have to make some adjustments some other places so you could do other things. So yeah, that's a valid point, man. But I know you are, man, full swing, and so I want to get you off of here, man. We didn't get an opportunity to talk about Tory Lanez, but it's all good. We will address it another time, man. Share your final thoughts real quick, and then I'll close us out.
No doubt, as always, Cuzzo, I appreciate you, man, for putting in the work and giving me the opportunity to come on here, man, and chop it up with you every Friday. It's definitely been one of those things I look forward to, every week. And then let's continue to build, man. Let's continue to put it out there, you know. And the people out there, comment, share, like, subscribe. If you are, feeling, what we're doing and, you're interested in having these conversations with us and just putting your spin and your take on it. You don't necessarily have to agree with me or agree with us or agree with any one of us. It's, what are your comments about, any said topics that we have? So I'd like to hear from people who have logical and valid points. And if it's an emotional point, I'll take those too. But, just allow the opportunity to hear and, go back and forth and not shut people down. That's where you get to have true and healthy dialogue, and that gets people talking and conversating again and getting excited about it. So that's my spiel. And you folks out there have a great Memorial Day weekend. Don't eat up too much barbecue. And if you do, hey, live your life to the fullest. I'm out.
Appreciate it. Man. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode. I just have one final thought. In all things, get understanding. That is my final thought. We appreciate you. We thank you guys for tuning in for another episode 22. Oh, what's up, cuzzo? The two cousins, Jamel and Marco. We out.